Hello everyone. So today I'm going to explain you what are the things you must have set for your career. If you are looking at job or career in the IT industry as a software tester, then mainly I'm discussing about the software testing. So what should be your path if you wanna get success in IT industry as a software tester? Then of course you must have some strategy. Without a strategy, you are just doing hit and trial method and somewhere you got success. So you start working in there and then you change the job. Again, you work there 2, 3 years. But in the sometimes maximum people, even I have met with maximum people who in between their jobs switch or during the layoffs, they also got impacted. They're also being laid off from the organization. So what should be your strategy that you should be ris- uh, play a long run? You can without any failure, or you can say that I want to make my job as a recession proof, that whatever the recession comes, whatever the recession hits in the market, I should be stuck in the job. There should be no you can say that scary thing happen with me with related to the job. So the first thing which I am going to explain you here, that what should be your strategy for the for the QA job. So as we know that in the software testing there are mainly three things. Right. There are mainly three things. Just let me show you. That is the GUI part of the application, then the business layer, and then the database layer. There are three layers of the any web application. I'm talking about the web application. So the whole discussion will be on the web application. So basically the three layers of any web application. Now just understand what is happening here. Whatever the user we are using as a user, we are using the GUI part of the application, right? We are using graphical user interface. And generally we perform here the CRUD operation. We perform here a CRUD operation. What is the meaning of CRUD here? So we are sending some data or creating something in database or in the resource, we can say. So this is called create. Then we are reading data from the database or the resource. This is called read. If we are changing, updating some data, so this is called update. And then we are deleting. So basically these four operations we perform on the GUI side. And to perform these four application, what we are sending? We are sending nothing but the data. Where? To business layer. We are sending data to the business layer. And business layer ex- executes the code, all the logic, all the programs are written on the business layer. So the business layer executes the code based on the provided data. Two things important for from where this data is coming and what are the data. So business layer executes the business code on the received data, and based on that, it gives some output which is going to stored in the database if that is required. So again, your data goes to the database. So now if the database receives the data, then it also acknowledges the business layer. So this is called response. And then it gives the response to the GUI layer. So basically this happen in any web application. Now here, the one thing you just understand that the GUI part is only capturing the data. But everything is going to happen on the business layer, right? Everything happens on the business layer. So what is the important, and database is basically a container which stores the data. It is a, if you are storing some data, whenever you want, you ask that provide me that data, the container gives you the data. Yeah, there are lots of things happen in between, but the container gives you the data. But if you check, if you see thought with full focus, that what is the most important layer of my application, which, because we are developing a software, and software to develop a software, the major focus is to generate the revenue, to earn the profit, right? So the business layer is here playing a major role. You can say this is the heart of the application. That whatever the data is coming from the user interface, if my code is correctly written, then it will execute the data. The code will be executed on the data, received data, and then it will process into the database. If there is any error in the code, so whatever the data business layer will receive will execute the code, and it can give you two things: either error or process the data. Once it's processed, suppose there are some logic is written at here which is calculating wrong, and it process the data. So data processed and went to the database system or the storage device where the data is being stored. Now what is happening here, you can validate the database that okay, if I purchase one item 10 rupees cost and I purchase 5 items, so total cost should be 50 rupees. And suppose this is processed, but it is processed like 40 rupees. And this goes to save in the database. So once you validate the database, you can easily identify, okay, there is some logical issue with the code. That's why it is calculating less amount, right? Is it calculated at here? No, this is calculated at this point. So the business layer validation is the most important thing. And to validate that business layer is working as per expected or not, you must have the knowledge of this one to, to validate that where this price is getting stored, right? To know where this price is getting stored, you must know the SQL queries. Then you can only identify that where this, on which table, on which column this price value is getting stored. So the same thing happening at here, that in a manual testing, there are three layers which I explain you: the front end layer, the middle layer, and the back end layer. Now, many of the us are working as a manual tester, but we believe me that we are working only. Even 2 years, 3 years people are, or even 4 to 5 years people are working in any project, but they are doing some of the tasks. They are completing this thing, that thing, every system testing, regression testing, and all the things. But they don't know what exactly they are performing, why that is required. They have heard that okay, my boss or the TL said that we have to check that new feature is should not impact the build or should not impact the whole application, so that's why we are doing this regression testing or sanity testing or functional testing or blah blah things. So coming to that point, first let me explain you. To test the application is manually, is called manual testing. Is this correct? Do you believe that I am testing one application manually? So is it correct? In uh, logically, I can say that yeah, this is the correct to test the application manually. That is correct. But technically, this is incorrect. To test the application manually, what does mean by manually? There are a lot of things we are using software. Lot of software we are using to test the manual to test the application. So where is the manual? Even we are using the Excel sheet. So forget about any tools and XYZ. We are using the Excel sheet for writing our test case. So we are managing our test case, right? We are using some tool. Automation tester are using some other tool to test the application. They are not writing the tool in the Excel sheet. They are not writing test case in the Excel sheet. They are writing in the editor like Eclipse. We are writing in our tool. So test the application manually is 100%. Technically, it is not correct that to test the application manually is the manual testing. And if this is correct, then why so many manual tester are not getting job? Because manual testing, if test the application manually, and we know that to identify the bugs in the application, then log the bug and ensure that bug should be fixed. So this is a very childish kind of thing. Everyone can do this. Why the graduate people or the engineers or experienced persons are required for the manual testing? Yeah, we can say one condition is that if experienced person is there, then he has some knowledge about the test case writing, design, test case designing, execution, bug life cycle, and all the things. So, how much time it will take to learn these things? 1 month, 2 months, or 6 months? Why companies are hiring 5 year, 6 year, 10 year experience as a manual tester? If the writing test case, execution of test cases, logging bug, regression, retesting, sanity is the only part of the test manual testing. No need to hire more than 3 to 4 year experience as a manual tester. You can teach, or many people have learned from various institutes. They all can work as a manual tester. No need to have more than 5 year experience people as a manual tester, right? But still companies are hiring. Even in some of the companies, you will see that your managers, senior manager are from manual tester. They don't know about anything automation testing, right? And then now the third point, many working manual testers are asked to resign from the job. If they are good, they are 5 year or 6 year experienced people, companies are hiring. Why the companies are asking them some during the layoff, no, you resign. There is a one excuse that, okay, we need automation tester and all the things, but not in all the cases. Even automation, for the automation testing, only 5 to 7% people resign. Organization tell 2 to 5% people to resign because you don't have automation skill set. Only 2 to 5%. So this is not a reason that companies are looking automation tester. That's why they told manual tester to resign. So of course this is not a reason, but still you will see that manual testers are asked to resign. Even not a manual tester, testers are called sometimes asked to resign during the bad time of the or bad phase of the company. So now, is the manual testing is so much complicated? Of course not. Let's see why it is. How we are making it more complicated. If you see here, these three layers, the presentation layer, application layer, and data layer, which I discussed, which I show you 2 3 minutes back, right? So this is just a representation of that one. This is the same thing, which is the front end. Presentation layer is nothing, a graphical user interface. Middle layer, the business layer, where all the code is written. Either if the program is developed in the Java, so the Java code is there. If .NET, then .NET, C Sharp, Python, C++, whatever the coding language they have, programming language they have used, that is in the middle layer. And the last one is the data layer, where a database, it depends upon the organization to organization. So what kind of database they are using. Some organization uses MySQL, few are using SQL Server, few are using Oracle, few are using MariaDB. These are the structured database. Few are using the MongoDB, that is a unstructured database. So now, what is the current market scenario for the manual tester, first of all? Because testing, you all, I guess that you all are get training from somewhere. So what are the important or what are the current market scenario? Why many people say that no job in the manual testing or the manual testing are still exist? Because everywhere you see that automation, automation, and automation. Yes, manual testing job still exist and will remain exist. But the skill set which is required for a manual tester, only 10 to 15% people have those skill set. As I earlier told you, writing test case, execution, bug logging, sanity, regression, retesting doing is not only the manual job or the manual QA job. Manual testing is far, far, far beyond that. What is why the market is what is the current market scenario? You can see now the in earlier days. I'm talking about 2002, 3, 4, 5 till 6 or 7. Organization were asking if you know the GUI testing, only the front end layer testing. If you know how to test this front end layer, presentation layer testing, then they treat you as a manual tester. After 2006, but in the mid of the 2007, organization start demanding you should also know or validate the database. Then we will consider you as a tester. Now the time changes, IT evolve. We all are using different applications, like everyone using the Paytm, Google Pay, um, various applications in their mobile. They are paying for utility bill, uh, grocery bills, and all the things. But have you understand that how it is happening? Because on the UI side, you are just entering the some amount or scanning some QR code, and money get debited from your account and credited to the uh, grocery store owner's account. So how it is happening basically? This is all happen just because of middle layer. You are using that one, but you don't want to test that one. Organizations are looking that person who knows how to test the middle layer as well. So that's why many of the manual tester who only knows how to test the GUI, they are getting less call because everything gets evolved during the time, but you are still stuck with 20 years old things in your resume. Writing test case, business analysis, understanding business document, writing test cases, designing, retesting, regression, blah, blah, blah. Multiple things you have written, but only the manual test case, front end test case, front end UI testing. An organization is looking person who should have knowledge of the middle layer as well as the database, all three layers of the testing. Then they will treat you as a manual tester. Now, see what is the importance of all the layers for vendor company, like where you are working. If you are working in a service based company, then vendor company application should work as per the client requirement. Whatever the client has given the requirement, application should work so that we could deliver that application. And for vendors tester, application should work as per requirement. The same thing, client requirement or requirement. But for the client, what is the most important? In the client side, overall for the client, that is a business layer important is very, very important. For the salespeople who are non-technical, the front-end layer should be very impressive, intuitive, so that if they are going to sell their product or showcase their product, so everyone will see the front-end layer. They don't bother that what is happening in between the middle layer or the database layer. They will come later. The client will come later. Okay, this is giving the wrong result. No, no, no. This is there is some issue. But the front end layer must be very good, right? But for analyst, marketing people who are technical, for them the database layer is more important. So now you tell me for which people you are working as a tester, because you are testing only the GUI part till now. So you are working for non-technical people only. But client wants what? Complete software should work as per requirement, which includes the GUI part, which includes the middle layer, which includes the database layer as well. So this is the main issue, that where the manual tester are facing challenges and they are not getting calls, because out of all three layers, they are testing only one layer. They are not focusing other two layers. So what would be our conclusion if I say in one line? Manual testing means testing the application to meet the requirement without using any tool, without using any automated tool, you can say, right? An application means all three layer, combination of all three layers. That is the meaning of application. So now these days, industry demands what? We can see, or we can say that person should be good in the UI testing, should be good in middle layer testing, and database testing. All three, if you have knowledge of all three database, so that is very, very good for you, because the knowledge of different database directly proportional to you will get more opportunity. You will get more calls. This is the first level of your strategy to get maximum calls, maximum opportunities. Now, most of the people say that now these days are the automation is very in demand. So let's, of course, these are demands, because demands and only the automation test is there. Both are two different things. And you should understand when we go for the automation and when the manual is required. Or can we go directly for the automation without manual? You need to understand these things. Then you can crack the 50% of your winning path. Here I'm comparing that functional automation versus automation. Functional automation versus automation. And functional automation means web automation. That is which we use UI automation, basically, you can say. And automation, that is the API automation, because API does not have any user interface. It does not have any user interface. That's why API testing, that totally depends upon the business, that totally validates the business logic. So business logic is what written in the code. Code is doesn't have any user interface, but the UI has interface. That's why Selenium automates the web automation. UI automate. You can also see in multiple places that UI automation Selenium. So Selenium automates UI things. Rest assured, yes, we use the Selenium kind of thing. And for rest assured, that is no user interface. No user interface means whatever the web element we identify during the UI automation, zero web element at here. not a single web element in the REST assured. And it totally validates the middle layer, the business logic. So if the business logic is good, then you can easily understand my front end will, how much time it will take to fix the, if there is any issue. That is only the cosmetic part, right? If my business logic is correctly working. So the user interface is only the what simple cosmetic things, right? So only one or two manual tester will enough to complete those things. To check every button, user interface, usability, button are good in shape or size, symmetrical in shape, color combination, spelling mistakes, all the things, level name, all the things on only they have to check. Because the business logic is already tested. No need to, if you want to test from the UI side, you can go ahead. But we have already tested business logic. And business logic is correct. So now no only check the user interface. Do not, if you are skipping the functional part, or the skipping the business logic part from the front end layer, and it is also okay, no issue. Just check the functionality, how many buttons are there, radio button, do some validation kind of things only. To minimum character, maximum character, alpha character, these things, buttons are clickable or not, if you are providing the data, only these things you have to do. No need to go for the business logic testing because that is already tested. GUI part is only sending the data, and data will go to the business layer that is already tested. So that's why these days manual and REST assured are more in demand. Suddenly, more in demand. Selenium is also there. Selenium demands is also, company also wants a Selenium, but if you compare how many are Selenium, how many organizations are looking for Selenium, and how many are the REST assured, then you can easily identify. I'm not here capturing about the performance automation, that is JMeter, Load Runner, Neo Load. There are other tools as well. So I'm not considering here as a for the comparison purpose performance automation. Now the question comes that which tool, which automation tool we need to learn, Selenium or REST assured. Manual testing is okay. Manual testing we need to know because that is the intricate. So we need to know that manual testing we have to learn. Now the second thing is which automation we should go, web automation or API automation. Now let's see the comparison between both. Hmm. For the web automation and REST assured automation, if I'm talking, if we talk about the Java, so core Java is used for both. So this is the common for web automation, because on the browser, our application will open. So browser handling, element handling, there are multiple way to identify web element, ID, name, CSS, XPath, ETCs. Then mouse and keyboard, action, radio button, checkbox, key input. Then build management, Maven, framework, TestNG, DDT, BDD, Cucumber. These are the framework to manage all the things. For the rest assured with Java, you can see that core Java, that is common part. Build management, Maven, common part. Framework, common part. But no browser handling, no web element handling, no mouse and keyboard management. Only the method here. Get, post, put, delete. Only these four methods, or let's say five method, one patch if I also consider. So maximum five methods you will automate. Where minimum 3 months required to learn the Selenium, but rest assured you can complete in 1.5 months. And the same core Java principle you can apply for upgrading your skill for Selenium. Because in Selenium only you have to learn three things. Browser handling, web element handling, and mouse keyboard action. That's it. So here you can save your time, get the maximum calls. Eventually, you can also convert the calls because rest assured with Java, limited things are there. But Selenium, lots of things are there. I have just written a view things. Handle window objects also comes under the Selenium, but rest assured not required. So as compared to Selenium, learning rest assured automation is more simplest thing, as well as less time, maximum calls. Now, for the job opportunities, no need to say anything. You can directly go and check for the one of the leading job portal, Naukri.com, where you can find how many job opportunities are for Selenium or web automation or REST assured or manual testing. So you can easily identify from there. Fine. Now these are the things, skill set which we need as a input or as a precondition for our strategy. These things are compulsory for our strategy. Then coming to the important factors for the job. What we how we can convert or what we must have for the job. So the first thing, as we discuss, and that is the most important thing which we discuss, no matter whatever skill set, from where you have get the training, you got the training, what you are doing for any technology, not only the testing, for any technology, the first thing is very important, and that is your skill set should be as per market demands. If you are mentioning 5 year or 2 year or 3 year back skill set in your resume, then this is 100% sure that you will not get any calls, because we need we are looking job. Industry is not looking, right? So we have to follow their path. So your skill set must be as per market demand. And the second thing, whatever the projects you have done or you have mentioned in your resume, you should have very good knowledge about that project. Because any project you are doing or you are mentioning in the resume, at least 7 month, 8 month, 1 year, 2 year, you have worked on that project. And if the interviewer asks that, tell me something about your project, and in 5 minutes you just come finished. Have you experienced this thing? I'm sure that many of you have answered like this within 5 minutes, or even most of the people are 2 to 3 minutes only. You have worked on a project 1 year, 2 years, some projects 3 years. And when someone asks, tell me about your project, you just give 2 to 3 minutes and you are finished. Right? So if you have the good knowledge about your project, then you have to explain in that way. You have to showcase that, yes, these are the complexities in my projects which I handled. I handled these complexity. That's why my skill gets enhanced due to my enhanced skill. I can also face some challenges, new challenges. I can implement those learnings. I can implement my enhanced skill set to solve those problems. And when you have these two things, good skill set as per market demand, project knowledge, then of course you can give confident answer. And your answer will have the weight which interviewer will catch or will understand that this is the answer he is giving with the confident. And even if you have these things, so in your voice the pitch gets changed. That gives a major impression to the interviewer. And of course, this is also required that you should have at least average com skill. I'm not talking about if you have the very good com skill, this is the plus point for you. But at least average com skill you must have. And this is required from the tester. This is required from the tester because testers mainly interact with the different stakeholders multiple times. And if they are unable to understand what the stakeholder is saying, or you are unable to explain your problem or explain anything related to project to them, then there is a gap. So this is at least average com skill you must have. Now, the next thing, skill sets. You have the skill set, you have the project knowledge, you have the good com skill, then you have the you answered like a confident person. Now it's time to sell yourself. It's time to sell yourself. So for selling, you have heard many places. If you want to sell yourself or sell your product, then put that product in the showcase, not in the go down. So what is your showcase at here? The first one is resume. Second one is email, which you reply to the uh, companies, or cover letter, you can say, which you send a cover letter to the organization, HR, consultant peoples. So only these two places you have the showcase. Now, how we can achieve this? We will come into this. We will come into this, how we can achieve this. Now, this is one of the also most important, which I told you earlier, that you should have a project knowledge, the most important part of your resume. If you see your resume, then maximum page or maximum portion of your resume is captured by the project description, technology, which tools you have used, what was your role responsibility. So maximum thing it is captured in your resume. 70% of the things space is captured by the project. And if you follow my rules, follow some rules which is already tested, and not a once time, even more than 1,000 times. If you follow some rules, then it will be a game changer. Now, how to explain your project, how you can impress the interviewer. These things comes into the project knowledge, and this is the part of the second precondition for your strategy. For confident answer, there is no shortcut. Only one rule. Invest per day few hours, at least 21 days. At least 21 days, then you can get easily, you can easily answer like a confident, answer like a pro tester, even if you are not working. But there is no shortcut way. If you think that I will remember and then I will answer, then it sometimes it will work, but not more than 30% time. It will work if you remember something, then it will work two, three times or five times, 10 times, but not every time. It will not work. That is a tested way. Telling you. If it is working for you for every time, then it is fine. But as per my understanding, as per my uh, experience, it doesn't work. Now, com skill, you have to improve it by yourself. No one can help you. Com skill, but yes, if you are giving effort, as I told you, only the 21 days, then you will see the definitely changes in your com skill within 21 days. Now, if we have all these precondition available in my kitty, in my strategy kitty, so it's time to apply job. So to apply job, this is some common things which everyone does. Everyone applying daily job on job portal, update resume on portal, updating every day resume on the portal, calling HR, hey, is there any opening? I have seen this posted by your organization and there was a phone number. So is there opening for the QA profile? I have 3-year experience, 5-year experience. They start telling and referral apply. These things are everyone does. When I was 2 to 3 years experience, I was having 2 or 3 years experience. I was doing the same thing, and everyone does. But later on, I realized this is not a right way to get job. Why I'm telling you with the full proof, with the data, I will show you. Applying daily on job portal, never apply. I'm bluntly said that never apply on the job portal on daily, even on ever, never apply. Update daily resume on portal only weekly once. Just pick any your favorite day. You can just make it little bit changes. If you are making major changes, then of course your probability will less. Calling HR, never. Do not call HR. Referral apply, of course, you can go for this. This will help you. Now, the first point, applying daily on job portal, I bluntly said that never apply. Why I said? I show you few of the data. You can see this is the Naukri.com where I search one job, software testing, automation testing, 4-year experience and location. I search the Delhi NCR. And when I hit on search button, I got so many jobs. This is uh, I prepared on the 17th Feb, and this is the 1 day old job, 3-day old job, and these are some jobs, right? Here you can also see that last 15 days it is showing experience 4 years. Now these jobs are populating, but these are some company jobs. So now see, I opened few of the jobs. You can see the Accenture job, apply on company site, it is saying, right? So whenever you see on the Naukri, apply on company site, it means that these companies did not post their job on Naukri. They have posted on their on their website career page. Naukri is pulling data from there and they are showcasing here. That's why it is saying apply on company side. When you click on this button, you will redirect to the company side, their career page, and then you can apply. So this is basically Naukri is showing that I have so many jobs for the job seeker. They try to interact the job seeker that we have 10,000 jobs in this month. But this jobs is not on the Naukri. This jobs in their company side, Accenture company side, right? Now, but here you can see apply button, apply button, apply button, right? Now, if you see closely, 2 to 4 years experience package, forget this package. This totally depends upon the skill set and all the things. Few hours ago, this job is posted few hours ago. When I took the screenshot, it is just few hours ago. And only one opening and 46 resume is sent by the Naukri or people applied. 46 people applied through the Naukri. This job 3 days ago, one opening 1060. This job 1 day ago, one opening 1746. Now you tell me, if you are applying through the Naukri, you are applying through the Naukri and you click on apply button, your resume went to the HR. Where your resume is lying? Suppose you applied for this job or this job or this job. This is the company job. So, okay, you are going there and total here also, you can see the 121 people navigated from the Naukri.com on their company website. Here 46. So, if you are applying these jobs, suppose this one. So, your resume is number 47 on HR inbox, isn't it? Your resume is lying after 46 resume in HR inbox. And do you think that HR will open till 46 mail? If you are applying here, then your resume is lying 1017th number. Will HR open 1017th number email? Then you will get a call. There is only one chance, right? So this is not a correct strategy, isn't it? This is not a correct strategy to get the job. So what that's why I told you never apply on job portal. So how to apply? This is too long video, so I will prepare another video where I will give you information that how to apply, when to apply, how you can automate this or whole process, and you can make you there is a guarantee that you will get a call from HR. This is the guarantee. Okay, so we'll see. Thank you, thanks for your timing.